Hi, everybody. It's Karen Barbee, the baby boomer belly dancer, back for another episode. And I am here this time. It's sad. I'm here with two of the dancers from Karavan who are actually going to be leaving, not just Karavan, not just the city, but the state. Now, this has happened a lot over the years and since the studio has been operating, especially here in Military City, USA. A lot of people come and go. And so this is actually really fun, this podcast, because this is the kind of thing that I wish I could have done with everybody. Just have a little conversation about how the experience was for you at Karavan, what you're going to do next and all of that. But, everything gets busy at the studio. You see, it's just like this constant hub of conversation. So I've never really had that opportunity or carved out the time to do it. Podcasts, they're the perfect way to do it, the perfect vehicle. So let me let you guys and you're going to keep it brief, okay? Because I've got a lot of questions around y'all's background and stuff. Don't be giving me stuff before I ask for it. Gotcha. So I want your name, how long you've been belly dancing. That is it. Do not tell me your pet's name. Do not tell me anything else. Just your name, how long you've been belly dancing.
Okay, I'm Shevon. With you, Karen?
Oh, no, in total.
In
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Since I guess I've been dabbling since 2012.
Okay, dabbling since 2012.
Yeah.
Great.
So
okay.
I don't know what that year's.
My name is Cameron, and I've been dancing for 4 years, I guess.
Okay.
And only with Karavan. No, that's not true. I tried another studio before I came to yours.
Okay.
And I'm not there.
Okay.
I don't know if it is still anymore, but
okay.
I'm not there.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. And so you guys are not native San Antonians,
no,
right?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you that then. We'll just keep going. Shevon, Cameron. So Shevon, where are you from, and how long have you been in San Antonio?
I'm from North Carolina, and I've been in San Antonio for 5 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And okay, well, we'll leave it at that. That was good. You got this. Yeah, you're just answer the question and move on. Cameron, where are you from? How long have you been in San Antonio?
Well, I'm from Metro Detroit. A lot of people from that part of the state say Detroit, but it's really like San Antonio, so huge, right? Metro Detroit, the city proper is, smaller, but the landmass that it encompasses is bigger. So I've lived in the southwest side of Michigan for a good portion of my life. I moved to San Antonio in 2010, and here I am.
And what brought you here?
A position at elementary school.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what brought you here? Work?
Yep, same.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. All right. So now, when you came here, were you already into belly dancing? If you weren't, how did you get into belly dancing? And then once you got into belly dancing, what got you to Karavan? Okay, now this can be a little longer.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, wait, I already forgot. So what got me into belly dancing?
Were you already in belly dancing when you got to San Antonio?
I was. I had taken random lessons here and there because I've moved a lot between school. So whenever I could find it, I would try to jump in. Mm-hmm. So I dabbled, and then I did a lot of YouTube. Learning. And then second question, why is that's compound question got me, right?
Wine.
I was so focused on the short answer that I was like, what was that?
So you already were into belly dancing when you got to San Antonio. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then how did you come to Karavan?
Oh, okay. So when I first got here, I was just trying to find something. And so I started with someone else who taught smaller classes at the mall. Mm-hmm. And so I did that. But it was kind of frustrating because it was every time someone new comes in, you start over, which is I found very typical of belly dance studios. Mm-hmm. And then I think somebody mentioned your studio. They're like, I pass it all the time. You should try that place. And then I went for a beginner's class. Mm-hmm. I think I was with Vern for that. And I was like, oh yeah, I love it.
Because I remember seeing you,
yes.
And then you went away for a while.
Yes, well, I got really serious with pole, so I was competing, and so I had to choose. Mm-hmm. And since I had been the pole studio that I was at, I had already established myself. Mm-hmm. I just went for that. And then when I had a really bad medical condition, and they were like, "You can't pole; it's not safe," I was like, well, I can do belly dance again because it's low impact as far as because I couldn't fall
right.
or
flip yourself upside down.
Yeah, if I fell on my head or if I, so I was like, this is low impact. And then I was like, oh my God, it's wonderful. I'm so sad. Because I think I was here a year before I got, like even saw your studio.
Okay, cool. Now, Cameron, I was going to say Caravan. That's not your name, Cameron. When you got to San Antonio, had you done any belly dancing?
Well, I think I was fascinated with it for a long time. And that, that's the story by most, I think, women of my age when I came into it. But I first, this is really cheesy. Okay. So I'm a child of the 90s, and I was a big fan of the band U2. And they had
She moves in mysterious ways.
Yes, and I was kind of entranced by that video. I don't know. I thought it was pretty well shot. It was, it seemed exotic and just really like beautiful, and it was looped too, so it was just kind of entrancing, right? And so I remember seeing that when I was much younger, probably in middle school, and being interested in that. And then in high school, I ordered it from the TV.
Is this cheesy too?
The TV, yes. When they I don't know if they still have it because I haven't had actual like TV in a long time, but you would see like a purchase now, and then it would have several things for the price of one. I remember like the pitch. But it was Vina and Nina, who are these twins,
yes,
who did like aerobic belly dance. And
I remember them. Yes,
okay,
yes.
And they were really cute, and it was fun. But like I didn't dedicate myself at that time, and I was probably just busy being a burnout in other ways. And so like that was I didn't really follow up on that. And so it's always been in the back of my head, but until I came here to San Antonio, I never really knew of any local dance studios, at least to my knowledge, in the Metro Detroit area. And so it was like in front of me the whole time. And so it's funny because like I lived here for 10 years, and had I found, y'all sooner, I would have definitely come in. But I think I was driving down Mulberry one time and saw your sign.
Yes. Wow. So you just kind of stumbled upon it.
Yeah. And I feel like I literally just walked in off the street. I think that's what I did. And I think you were sitting at your desk and you're like, hello. And I think that was it, But
it used to happen a lot at that location.
I remember
it was a
that
corner.
even happening in class once.
Yes. A lot of times people would just open the door and it happened a lot there. Yeah.
And
so you might have been one of those.
Yeah. I don't think I walked in during a class, but you were definitely at your desk.
I was just sitting at my desk. Wow. Okay. Okay.
And after that, I was kind of hooked. I mean, after the first beginner's class, I was like, oh my God, where's this been all my life?
Great.
No, really, it's a big deal because the way you teach is just like, wow.
Oh, well,
no,
thanks.
really, it's hard to find.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Cool. All right. You can keep that vibe up as we go on.
I will.
But I have my list of questions, and I'm so organized tonight. Do you see this, Kylan? This doesn't always happen. I know. Yeah. Okay. So at Caravan, so you said you came into a beginner class. You came into a beginner class, but
yes,
you didn't really stay there long.
No,
because you ventured out and did your pole thingy, and then you popped back in. So that was because of the medical thing and all that.
Yeah.
But then somehow you landed in Project Band, like, bam.
Yeah, because I think you were like, come in and do like dance at demos and do because I think that was before I was in Project Band. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? Maybe not. I feel like, or maybe I went to something.
I don't know. That we just asked you to do a solo at demos. Like, that makes sometimes that happens if people
like
have other dance experience.
Yeah, because I think I was part of Project Band when I did that in my head. So I came. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone. I came to watch one, and then I was like, "Ooh, my gosh, I love it!" And then you let me do one, and I was like, "I'm gonna do this."
Okay.
So that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so then at the studio, you've kind of taken everything because, like, we have beginner classes, we have drills classes, we have choreography classes, and we have Project Band. That's the main stuff at the studio. You've done them all.
Yes, I've done all of them.
Kim Maruski, what about you? You've done them all.
I did. I'm still like I love beginners.
Yeah.
I think no matter how long I've been there, or even if I will probably still attend online beginners classes. I love them. I did Project Band. I think the first year. It always feels like it's a part of year, because the past 4 years has been when I've been doing my partial like Midwest, like summers in Michigan and here. So I missed part of the semester always. So I'm not here for the summers. And I think I've done Project Band for 2 years.
I think so.
And and then recently, the last, I guess it was the last semester, I started the part of the choreography, which I really enjoyed and gave me a different perspective on what like real dancers do.
We're just real dancers. That's cute. That connection, you know, it's interesting because you were in Project Band before you started taking the choreography classes, and you probably too in belly dancing, but you had done choreography for pole and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I had done belly dance choreography. Actually.
Okay, yeah, because that whole idea of choreography is an interesting animal if you're not used to it. So I can only imagine. Actually, I can't imagine coming from Project Band into choreography. My experience was just, you know, like a bazillion years of choreography and then improvising. So I'm sure you've got an interesting perspective of how that felt. I mean, I'm guessing things started clicking really, really quickly. Like, oh my God, okay, that makes sense. Oh my God, oh, that's why they do that. Oh my God, okay, okay, yeah.
It felt, I mean, I guess it maybe is learning a bit in reverse, but it felt like so much more, like it was less overwhelming in a way, because I think that, you know, the Project Band is like it really challenges your ability to just present yourself as you are, right? And what you have and all the skills, or maybe even the little Rolodex of like what you want to do, you know, but then like the challenge for me is in that setting is to like stop doing what I always do when I just free dance, you know, and like stay focused. And so I think the choreography was helpful for me to see that like if you break it down into like small bites, like you can really build something and build to that like level of just inertia and like you know, rather than just like go.
Well, I feel like if you did like if I had never done a choreography and I just started Project Band, I almost feel like I would be like trying to speak a language without like the vocab, because I wouldn't know. Like, I mean, obviously
you'd be like,
drills.
Where's the pole?
Yeah, no, really. I mean, well, that's the whole thing in pole too. It's like you can't rely on the pole, but it's like, you know, it's like, you know, in drills, we learn things, but it's like it's not always the same when you go out there and you're in front of people and you're like, I only do Mayas, and you know what I mean, like, you know. So I feel like it would have been harder for me personally to like start Project Band, because I'd be like, I only know how to do like a Maya, like my first year.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I'm just going to go off on a tangent here for a second. Can remember where I am because really, in Project Band world, if all you knew were Mayas and snake arms, you could get through a song.
That's true.
You know, different speeds, different textures, while traveling, while holding still, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't be your most exciting performance. It'd be a great exercise. Like, that would be really fun. No, I know it wouldn't. It would be really difficult. But, and the self-judgment is what would kill you, because you'd be like, oh my God, I don't have enough things to do. And that's where we all land in Project Band. And that's what gets crazy. But because we always say Project Band is a different skill set. It's about accessing what you know and being able to vary what you know and all that kind of stuff that, you know, it's just, you know, two sides of the same coin.
Yeah,
That's all.
right.
Two sides.
That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. All right. So how long have you guys been at Karavan total then? Each of you?
Don't make me do this.
I'm sorry. You whispered, but we heard you.
I know. I think it's been 3 years. I've done 3 This will be my third GBDAC.
Okay, your third GBDAC. Yeah. And you said 4?
This is the end of my 4th year.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Because I think I started in March 4 years ago.
Okay. And see, in Caravan world, y'all are like little tiny children. I mean, there are people
that have been with you for a long
For
time.
a very long time.
Yeah, because it's been there such a long time. Yeah, y'all are like little kids.
Huh. Yeah, brand new.
You're already running off, little eaglets.
Don't even.
That's okay, because now everything is so online. You know, we'll get to that. Okay, here we go. Performance opportunities. You know, pre-pandemic, we were at Demo's Greek restaurant every Wednesday. You just kind of alluded to that. Every Wednesday, there were performance opportunities, and now they're monthly. And then there was our big annual showcase, and sometimes there's stuff in between. I was remembering that event that Jumpstart Theater had for a fundraiser that you went and performed at.
Yes.
You know, there's so many things going on. So talk to me a little about how much you were able to participate in that while you were at Caravan and how you felt about it.
I mean, I love it. I think that's one of the things that makes Caravan so unique is you don't really get, at other places, you don't really get to perform live, you know? I mean, in any capacity, maybe you might do like a festival once a year, maybe twice. Maybe you're fortunate enough to like get to dance at a restaurant or, you know, have like a troupe that can do parties. But in my experience, I only ever danced at like small showcases at like whatever studio I was in. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like to be in front of people who know nothing about what you're doing is a great experience. Mm-hmm. Like for all things, like ego, like, you know what I mean? Like just, you know, how your dance is interpreted, how you interpret your own dance, you know? Because if you've never danced in front of people, you know, if you're just dancing or you're just dancing for your peers, like that's a different experience than dancing for, you know, somebody here just, you know, have lunch, you know?
Right.
So I think it's a great experience and very unique.
Okay. And you were at demos a lot when we had that.
Yes, I did demos a lot. Yeah.
And you're actually at the other ones now that we're monthly. You are.
I try to be at most of them. I've been a little rough these last few months, but I had a lot going on. But usually I try to be at least one of them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we do call them student jam sessions because the intention is, you know, if you're taking classes at Caravan and you want to come out and go, you know, do it. Yes. Let's see what you got. Yeah. Kamarooski. Oh, I'm sorry. I love your nickname. Kamarooski.
I was listening and then I forgot the question. Although
how much participation in the performance opportunities?
Pre-COVID, right? Yeah.
Well, pre-COVID and COVID and post-COVID.
Okay.
If there is such a thing yet.
Golly. So I think pre-COVID.
I remember you being at Demos that time. You had a fan club. Like
yes.
Well, you know, I did it more than once, but it was funny because that particular experience, like not knowing really what I was getting into and just watching, you know, y'all dance, I was like, oh, this is a performance, you know, and so I need to show up, I need to look the part, I need to be prepared, and I need to invite people because I'm performing. And it was funny because after that, I did realize that it was a little bit more casual. Mm-hmm. I mean, that we're there to jam. You're there to just kind of put yourself out there, mm-hmm. and it's a rehearsal.
Right. It's a Wednesday, you know,
yes.
so yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it's funny because I did invite a couple of my really close friends and then a friend who just happened to be in San Antonio for a couple of months that we just have really met. And my nearest and dearest friend at the time brought me, I can't remember if it was a single one or multiple, but she brought me flowers. And it's because she said, like, that's what you do for someone's first performance, mm-hmm. you know, and I was like, oh, like,
I love that. I love
her name's
that.
Katie.
Even
She's
if it's at a Greek restaurant on a Wednesday.
Yes, and
that's
so
adorable.
I had roses, and I was like, oh, wow. And then I think it made me feel like, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal for me, and I did really enjoy it. I was super nervous. But then I realized after that it really wasn't as a big a deal.
That's right. The first one, there's nothing, the quantum leap in nervousness dip from the first one to anything after. It's just like you can't even imagine.
It's a big deal.
I mean, like, and it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. But like that, I remember that first one being extraordinarily nervous for that. Mm-hmm. And so after like several demos, I really enjoyed the restaurant behind North Star when we played with
the Mediterranean Turkish
Gypsy Caravan. I think that
Gypsy
was
Caravan live music. Yes,
I like that. They were, I don't know, just really fun and like obviously very talented musicians, but they were also like totally jamming, and I thought that was cool. And that was fun. That was really cool. And they were just really sweet, and the restaurant owners were really sweet. And I did several of those. I think at least 2 or 3. And I think that was when I really started to get into because that was when I probably joined Project Band.
Right.
And so I was doing demos, and then I was doing several of those, and then a couple twice with Kamal. So maybe a total of like 7 or 8.
Okay. And lots of the rock and roll ones.
Yes. I'm not. Well, how could I read those? Like yes. I always feel like that is like, it's not easy. It's never easy. Again, I'm always nervous, but I do feel like when I'm there, like I have a lot of background with the music.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why we do it. Yeah. Because that's music that's not going to scare you or intimidate you in any way. You've heard it a million times.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And that's fun. That's really fun.
Cool. Good. Okay. 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 How has I feel like somebody else wrote this now. I just did it last night. How has your experience / involvement in belly dance, specifically belly dance at Karavan, changed or evolved since you started? Okay, so this is about how you say, I'm going to take a belly dance class, and you sign up for classes, and then you go once a month because you can't make it a priority in your life. And then 2 years later, you realize you're there every day.
Always.
Yes. Or you sign up and you say, and I don't think this was the case for, well, I don't know. Maybe it was the case for, I don't think it was the case for you. You sign up and you say, I just want a different activity. And then all of a sudden you're on stage. Like that was never what you intended, that kind of thing. So can you remember what your intentions and your goals were when you started and what's happened since then?
So when I first started belly dance, I had seen, I think I went to like the Ren Fest, like I went to Renaissance Festival, and I was like, man, that looks so cool. Like I was like, that's totally up my alley. And so I was just like trying to find places, but I came in with tribal, so like I did like all the like American born styles, and so like I had that specific style everywhere I went, and then I came here, and then it was completely different. So I don't know what I expected, but like it definitely, I had to change a lot. Like I even saw that first video at Demos. I watched that one of the only one probably, but yeah, I watched that one, and I can see my style has completely changed. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I still love the tribal style, but like I feel a little bit more freer here because, with that, it's a lot of like very specific because you want to look a certain way and move a certain way. And obviously it's true for all styles, but I feel like with your program, you have more freedom to move in the way you want to move and express the way you want to express, which I think is great because, it's like, even though I still pigeonhole myself, but it is nice to be able to sometimes because we do dance to Western music too. So, I really like that. So I definitely changed in I guess the rigidity of my specific type. And I'm obsessed with costuming.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm in this costume, I have to dance just like this, but I'm trying to break it.
Okay.
On Sunday, I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear something that doesn't match.
Oh, how exciting.
The collegiate, so
can't wait to see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Cameron.
So how has it evolved?
Yes.
Well, I think initially, coming into it, I was just really excited to be in a group that seemed all different levels and a lot of. I enjoyed the diversity of the group. I think it just speaks to many different types of women and different ages, and I appreciate that. I think in my mind, I always thought dance and performance maybe catered to a specific appearance or body type or whatever. And so I like that it's like that. And so I didn't feel I felt comfortable, and then I think that's why I stuck around because I didn't feel like I was there to look the best or be the best. I felt like I was there to learn, and you make learning very easy for different styles of learners, you just approach it from different angles, and I really appreciate that. Obviously, I'm a visual learner, but I'm also auditory. I realize a lot of times, your voice is in my head.
Yes, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, and it's a different method of it's not a different method, but it is. You count and then you speak it, and then we're doing it, and so it just all kind of connects. It connects very well, rather than watching someone and then trying to copy what they're doing. Which I think as dancers, whenever you're dancing with anybody anywhere, that's what you tend to do. You mirror, so there's always that, but I think you're accessing all those different learning portals. So that's great. Right. And that's why I felt
she's a teacher. So
yes.
she
yes.
No one else says learning portals.
I don't know. I don't know if we would say that, but it just felt plugged in.
I like it. Yeah.
And that really made sense to me. So that got me hooked. Also, the other newbies that were there with me, just were really friendly, and the girls that had been there and women, had been there for a long time, seemed welcoming and non-judgmental, and I appreciated that. So I think that was really specifically something that drew me and kept me. And that's something I still appreciate to this day. So I think that was where I began, and where it's kind of evolved to is like wanting to be better, you know, as a dancer. And because I mean, I have a hard time like owning that title, and I don't, it's not my natural way. Like, I love to move, but I'm not particularly graceful, or, you know, I feel like, you know, every child is an artist. I feel like everybody as a child wants to dance. And I feel like everybody always wants to dance, but something holds them back, you know, from expressing themselves. And so I think
people.
Yes, it's judgment,
people,
right?
yeah.
And so I never felt that. And I think that's what kept me with you, you know. Also like helpful, you know, it's not critical. It's like growth. It's like acknowledging what is going well, you know, and asking the dancer or the individual, like, where do you want to go with this? And so that's totally different than what I imagined it to be.
Huh. That's great to hear. You know, if you'd have been at the studio 20 years ago, you would not be saying that. That's Project Band. That's Project Band. Project Band is the great neutralizer. You know, we're all equally vulnerable. I put myself out there. You know, I'll tell you when I trip up, you know, and everybody who's there that's been there 20 plus years, they'll tell you where they tripped up. And it's just affirming. It's just affirming Project Band to me that you say it all like that, because there was a time when I was losing people. Again, it was probably before you guys were born, but there was a time when the studio was losing people because of that click kind of feeling, and that those are the good ones. Those are the ones who have degrees in dance, and they're looking down at the ones who don't have degrees in dance. And these are the ones who've done performances regardless of how they learn. And these are the ones who dance in restaurants and they don't talk to the blood, you know, that kind of silly stuff.
But I mean, that's typical.
It's typical humanity.
Of everything. Yes, it is.
It
and
is.
All studios have it. I mean, across all types of dance.
Yes.
And I think that's why your studio is, well, for me, successful, because you've been able to evolve and survive that and then create something out of that. Because, I mean, even like polling, like I've been to so many studios and I see them like crumble, or their staff crumble and like turn over so fast because, you know, people like make like an elite group, you know, it's like, well, they're the best,
right?
They look the best, they have the best style.
Yes.
So then now they're more important than everyone else, and it makes people feel unwanted, you know. And so I think, at least for me here, I felt like I've never felt that.
That's
you know?
great. That's great to hear. That's great to know. And the magic behind it is that I would love to take credit and say, yes, I saw that project 20 years ago and I designed Project Band. No. Okay, that's not what happened. I mean, I saw the problem, but I wasn't sure what to do about it. I shut the studio is what I did about it, because I didn't know what to do about it. And then Project Band was born out of that, you know, and so it's just something that's kind of naturally flowed, but it's always great to hear how well it's working from those of you who have no idea how it all came about. Right. So hey, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for that. Okay, so here it is. Where are you going? Why are you leaving this? Where are you going, and what's taking you there?
For me, it's always been like school or work. Wherever I live is based off of that. So I got a new job, and it's exciting because now I get to do more things like this, you know, like in my new job, it lets me afford those things. And I'm going to Ohio. I keep doing that.
I don't know if you're making a heart or an O.
It's not a heart.
And where in Ohio?
Dayton. So like it's a small town, but it's close to like the bigger city. So it's a couple hours out from Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I'm going there, and I don't remember the other half. Was that all?
Yeah. Where are you going and what's taking you there? You covered it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Cameron.
Well, I guess my roots are there.
Going home. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I never thought I would be in Texas, but here I am.
Same.
And it really grew on me.
Really? You guys never thought you'd be in Texas?
Oh, no.
I thought Texas was like a desert.
Cowboys.
And one house. Like that's literally my, maybe not Houston, but like everywhere, like San Antonio, I didn't know anything about. So I thought it was like a house. And like, you know, like when you see pictures of the Dust Bowl, that's what I was thinking.
Same.
But a new house.
Like literal like tumbleweeds. That's what.
Yeah. I was like excited to see a tumbleweed. I was like, I've never seen one. And then I got here and I was like, Oh, it's a city, just
It's
like
very lush.
Yeah, so it's actually not like that at all.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, no. So I think I got here because of family. What's taking me home is because of family, and kind of the same branch of the family. I have a very small family. I'm not one from a big family. My aunt Sally is my only aunt on my paternal side, and her daughter, my cousin Natalie, lives in Bernie, but started off in San Antonio and was a military survivor. She's out of the military. I don't know how to say that. She's ex-military.
That's how you say it.
She's a
She's a
veteran.
veteran, yes.
She's a veteran. And she got her alternative certification in teaching, and had a choice like where she wanted to move. Where should I go, Austin or San Antonio? And they decided to move to San Antonio because of the cost of living. And when I was in Detroit teaching, Detroit proper, and it was the summer, and I was thinking about changing careers. And my cousin called me when I was at Paul Mitchell Beauty School during an interview, and I saw her calling, and I like to put it on vibrate, and I was like, wow, this is like what I want to do. It was really exciting, and the way they were teaching, what they seemed to be teaching how to do cosmetology and beauty and hair, and I was just, whoa, this is amazing. I got to save the money to do this. And then I get into the parking lot and listen to the voicemail, and my cousin Natalie said, "You won't believe it, but there's 3 art teacher positions in my district." And I was like, nah.
No, thank you.
But okay. And she's like, well, I'll pass your resume along. I was like, fine. And then, long story short, here I am. So I got here because of the job, and then, I loved it. I love the city. I really have made some great friends here, and just, and also this has been a big part of especially in the past 4 to 5 years, because my life has changed a bit. Keeping me social and active, and but basically why I'm going back to Michigan is because my husband Wes and I are starting a farm and building a house on family property that now we have the title to. So it's very rural, and my transition over there is kind of going to start on probably the west side of the state, and then moving to the east side of the state where our actual farm is. So I'm looking at jobs in Grand Rapids, and
Grand Rapids.
And since I always spend the summer there, it just made sense to go back and try to look for jobs. So I've been recommended for a position in Grand Rapids,
Okay.
but not formally offered it yet. So we'll see. But they were checking my references today.
Oh, wow.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, a reference check is pretty great
yeah.
to get
Yeah.
that far.
So it's for middle school, which
Dun dun dun.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, at least it's art. I feel like
Yeah.
kids tend to be better in art classes.
well, I was a total like a toot. I was a toot when I was a middle schooler. I was not a good kid, and that's okay. That's part of growing up, right? And so anyways, I just, I'm excited to try it. I know there's going to be challenges because that age level is challenging, but
But you
I
were
feel
one
like
of them, so you're not
I
scared.
was one of them. So I can go back to that part in my life and remember it,
That's
know?
exciting. Okay. Yeah, it helps when you've been there and you remember
Oh yeah.
having been there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, well, I think you guys kind of answered what you would miss about Caravan throughout this, but I want you to, you got to answer this. I want you to tell me what you won't miss about about being here, because there's always something. I mean, I could reel off a bunch of things. I love Caravan. That's my little baby. But if it was all gone tomorrow, I could tell you a few things that would be okay with me.
I mean, there's not like.
Oh, come on, the
something
access gate at the studio.
Oh, actually, it doesn't bother. I have a gate to my apartment, so it's faster than my
Bothers
gate in my
me.
apartment. I mean, I get it. Because it would be annoying for you because you have to enter the phone every time. That would drive me nuts. For me, I mean, I don't know. I just want to do everything. So for me, it's like, I wish I could do everything. But that's just my
The
own
frustration of not being able to live there.
Yes, pretty much. Like, I love to perform. So it's like, you're like, oh, I want to do that one too. Oh, I want to do that one too. So, you know what I mean? I think that's for me the hardest thing. But I mean, that's my own problem. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's like on That's my thing. But yeah, I think that's the hardest part. They're not as enough. There's not enough.
Oh, that's so fun. Okay, Shevon. Cameron.
So, I don't have any criticisms. I mean, I just wish I could be there more often. I feel sometimes that I like my heart like wants to be there, but then like my physical body can just not. So maybe just proximity, I guess. But I mean, it's still closer than anything I've ever. Again, like if I had been dancing I would have had to drive probably 45 minutes to an hour to even find something. That if there is anything. But point is that I mean, the studio is great. I think I would be there more. Maybe if I made more time for it.
Okay. Well, you're starting.
It's on me.
It's okay.
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, I know. I'm serious. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, wait, there has
to be something.
Yeah,
there has to be something. It's great that it's not at the forefront of your mind,
No.
But
yeah, I mean, I think with anything, like, it's like sometimes you're always gonna have like, like, I don't even know, like things where you have like you're in a situation and you're like, oh, I don't feel confident in this situation and things like that. But like I feel like that's normal at a studio, and I feel like your studio it's at the minimum. Like I mean now at least, you know what I mean. So like I feel like like as far as friendliness, but I'm also a friendly person, so I'm probably not the best person to judge. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna listen to like, Shevon, what are you talking about? But you know what I mean, like. I feel like that would be the only thing, like, maybe sometimes you feel like less confident, like somebody might say something or something, but I mean, for me, it's like, I'm like, it's not going to stop me. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that would be the only thing.
Well, that's great. So not like an air conditioner that refuses to work in
Oh,
July.
no. Okay. I found something. I did find something. I want the fans to be on all the time.
You want the fans to be on all the time?
Oh man, I'm hot. Like I'm always so hot. But then some people want them off, so I'm like,
They don't like them.
I just let people have it.
Yeah, you want.
Yeah,
those
but I'm
people
like,
to
we
be
could
comfortable.
switch spots, and you could be here and not be
Yes.
breathing, and I could be on the fan, because that happens a lot. Like, because I mean, I'm fine standing anywhere. Like, I'm not one of those people that has to stand here. But sometimes I'm like, man, if you turn that fan off again, I'm just ooh. So if anybody's listening, don't turn the fan off, please.
Please, never.
I'm dying. I
will
but I
never
am a hot
turn your
person.
fan off.
Yeah,
Never.
like I'm sweating now, so it's like I'm always hot. Well, when I'm moving or like under pressure or something. But yeah, I'm just like, fans, please.
Okay. So I mean, it can be that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of logistical issues
logistical,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like you handled them. I mean, I don't know. I think your studio is good, and for the cons, I think the pros win.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, and I appreciate that. I just thought it was a fun question.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, all right. So, have you guys looked into belly dancing studios and stuff to do in your new homes? I know I was trying to find some stuff for you, but Grand Rapids helps. I don't even know where that is. I'd have to find a map. But.
Yeah, I feel like I asked you only this because I mean you have connections to Michigan, and so I just thought you'd have like
I could get you music lessons really fast.
right, and so yeah. I'm not trying to be lazy about it.
No, that's all right. That's right. And I did give you the name of
Yeah.
that one dancer who's my buddy up there,
Yes.
and okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm going to look into that. And I did do some very surface level Facebook digging. I mean, I feel like Facebook makes me really lazy, but also it's a great resource because, you can find events and, all that. So, but maybe that's why I haven't found a whole lot, but I did find one studio that seemed to offer, an assortment of like classes. Basically, I think choreographies and level 1 and level 2 they were calling it. I think it was just kind of the Egyptian style, but they may have had other styles as well. But I'm gonna look into that when I get there. Honestly, part of the reason why I thought Grand Rapids would be a good spot is because it's I get this impression that it's a bit more like art and culture and progressive perhaps. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna get there and be like, wait a second. But I thought maybe it just would be, I know it's more diverse, and so that was part of the reason why I apply there. And also the west side of the state is gorgeous.
Okay.
Lake Michigan is just
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you're working on it. And Shevon?
I found two, but they're still saying they're closed for COVID. So I don't know if it's just like it still says that on like
Hiatus.
Google. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I'm already getting like, if anyone's from Dayton and goes there, don't hate me. But I'm already getting like weird vibes from the like website for one of them, which I think one is just private lessons, or like she teaches her only, or like she doesn't have like a studio.
Okay.
Like she's the only teacher, and then the other place is a studio. But I'm just kind of getting like weird vibes, you know. I feel like they're gonna hear this. Not that I even know them, but they call their students kittens.
Okay.
Like that's
interesting.
and through the website, it's like, well, as a kitten, you'll be. And I'm like, oh. I mean,
Do they just do belly dancing?
yeah, they're just belly dancing, and they had a schedule. So I mean, it seems like they were like more the style of your place. So, I mean, I'll still try it if they're open.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
yeah, I was just like, I will not judge before, but I'm spoiled now. But yeah, I'm gonna be still doing your program.
Okay,
so.
well, that was my next question. Do you foresee
sorry.
staying connected to Caravan or San Antonio in any way? Like, I didn't realize you had family here. So that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So I thought, well, you had already kind of talked about how you're going to, and you've got to come to GBDAC.
Oh, yeah,
because,
I'll be there.
Yeah, but you don't really have anything to pull you back here in terms of GBDAC or anything like that, but the family helps.
Yes.
That-
Yes.
Yeah, so what is your plan for staying tethered to Caravan?
I'm just gonna do my privates online and do drills, because I mean that's pretty much right. Yeah.
Right.
And then I guess I'll just do the virtual dancing.
Do virtual dancing with the
Yeah,
bands?
yeah.
I know.
Just
You
so I
know,
have video.
I'll talk about that in a minute. Cameron, are we going to lose you forever?
I mean, I certainly hope not. I know that obviously, like, it's Grand Rapids is a huge city. So if I end up there, you know, nothing's set in stone. I should be able to have fairly good internet access.
I know that's been an issue in the past, and when you're on a farm, you know.
Yeah.
It is. So in the region of the, I almost said country. It's very country. Excuse me. We don't have internet, and I tried using my mobile hotspot and do a Zoom, and it didn't work. So it's kind of dependent on that, you know, whether or not I'll be able to jump in the classes. I would, for the past couple summers, especially the first one I was away, I relied heavily on instructional DVDs, yours primarily. And so, yeah, that's, I just go back to apparently like high school. I just pop in a DVD and that's where I go. Yep. And just practice that way.
That works. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you end up in a place that doesn't have good Wi-Fi, like I always love a challenge, you know, but you want to stay hooked up. There's got to be a way, right? There's just got to be a way. I mean, well, I know there is, because Sue, who's one of our students in Florida, for a while, she and her husband were going on these long tours, like on the ocean, like these long cruises.
Ooh.
Her husband was a lecturer on these cruises.
Wow.
And so she was trying to keep up with choreographies, but would just disappear for like months. And so I would download and burn a bunch of stuff on Caravan Online onto DVDs to give to her to keep up with it while she was on a ship. So it's possible. Yeah. There's always a way.
Yes.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
Sure of that. There's always a way. Yeah. Yeah. There's always, always. Yeah. 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 It's important to remember. Okay. See, now I was going to say something and I don't remember what the hell it was. That's why I have paper and a pencil.
Yes.
But did I write it down? No.
About this topic?
It was about this. It was when you were talking and I was about to branch into something else. And I was like, no, wait. Let me ask Cameron first. So what was it you said? You were talking about staying tethered to Project Band and doing... Oh, okay. I remember what it was now. So right now I have Debbie in Arkansas and Victoria in Arizona, and they're Project Band. Like, they've been project banding. Well, Victoria's been project banding, I think, since Project Band was born. And Debbie friggin' used to live in Egypt, and so she's like an advanced project bander.
Wow.
And I've got them hunting down some live music in their respective areas so that they can do some of the more advanced stuff and not just have to do virtual. And it's like, like this idea of, I mean, since we've incorporated the rock and roll thing, and that's an odd thing, and anybody listening that's like, I don't understand how rock and roll ties into ballet, just shut up. You have to understand Project Band to know how it works. I mean, I know that at the end game at GBDAC, we have some of the best Middle Eastern musicians on planet Earth up there, and that is what our target is. But the tools to use along the way can be quite varied, and that's where the rock and roll thing comes in. There are cover bands everywhere.
Yes.
And that part should be easy to keep alive, man. Like really, and they're not, I can't imagine that a band in Dayton, Ohio costs any more to hire than a band in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And when you compare that to hiring Arab musicians, pennies, I'm telling you, pennies.
Believe it.
So there's always a way, you know. So like if you get hooked up with a studio, I would be interested in talking to whoever's at that studio about, you know, like,
oh, you know, I'd be like
pulling
you
together
wanna
something.
do
Yeah.
live stuff.
Yeah. Because there are ways to make this work for Project Band in remote areas. Maybe not, you know, having guys as easily accessible as our Houston guys, but with the Western music component, there's always a way to keep that alive, I think. So, you know, you guys are leaving, and I mean, we were just talking at the studio about it because I was telling him I was going to come do a podcast with you all, and Becky was saying, "Oh gosh, it makes me so sad." I think this. I was like, "We don't. We're going to talk about that. You know, we're going to talk about how sad we are that they're leaving. You know, we'll find a way to keep them in the mix, and we'll find a way to make it more. You know, like find a way to make it more. So you know,
That's
who
kind
knows?
of exciting.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
I mean, I totally would. I'd be like, hey, I have an idea.
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
in a way, we're like caravan exploratory probes
You sort of are.
for satellites.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, PB satellites.
Hey,
PBS.
there you go.
That would be so cool.
PBS.
Yeah, I think it'd be really neat.
I know. And if I needed to fly up there or fly over there, or you know,
Now
set
I'm
it up.
excited.
I know. I think that's a great possibility.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's so much more about that. That'll be another podcast. So, all right. What else? Anything else y'all want to cover about your time at Caravan? You guys are going to be. Oh, now I feel like what is it? I feel like I'm like some radio host with a rock band in town. They're going to be performing on Sunday night. So you guys are doing your last live music thing on Sunday evening at Rotana. Yeah.
It's a good one to end on.
It is a good one to end on. Yeah, it is a good one to end on. It'll be super fun. So that's 6:00 at Rotana on Thousand Oaks. Hey, Guylan, can you get this up before Sunday? All right. Appreciate it. Anything else about your time at Caravan, your exit? What's next for you?
Well, I know this isn't the end. It's not the end, but I want to thank you. I love dancing with you, and I feel like I've learned a lot.
Good.
I know I've learned a lot. It's a definite yes. I've learned a lot. And maybe that might not always show in my performances. However,
Oh no, it does.
Like if
it does. People talk about you and how they can see,
progress.
yes.
Yeah. And a lot of it has to do for me, like with trying to grow as an adult, because I feel like I'm constantly telling my kids they're lifelong learners. You had to have a growth mindset, and that's not something I've always been able to embrace myself, especially was challenging for me as a young person. So I think for me, like selfishly, I took a lot from this because I felt that you embodied that and also expected it in a very, guiding way. And so thank you for that. Like, I feel like I learned a lot. You're a great teacher.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Cameron. Yeah. Thanks.
No, I agree. It's so cool because I'm so serious. It's so hard to find a studio that's consistent, but then you also can grow because it's like, I mean, and I don't think it's their fault. It's just people lose interest. Like people figure out hard belly dances or, anything because it's like most people are like, I want to be pretty. Like, let's be honest. Like you see it online, you're like, oh, I want to be pretty and wear pretty costumes. And then you're like, it's hard work. And then people are like, I don't want to put in the work. So I think like being able to put in the work and see yourself grow is what I really love. And like, be like, oh, that time I really enjoyed my performance. Because, I mean, I hate watching myself. I've talked about this like 10 times today. But I hate watching myself. So, like, to actually get through one of my videos and be like, okay, I liked all of it. Like, for me, I feel like that's something I take away from this. And it will make me more confident when I get to Ohio. and convince them.
Right. Now you're on a mission.
So I
Great. All right. Well, we're going to miss you guys so much. But, we'll find a way. Remember, DVDs can be burned. Bands can be hired.
Yes.
Anything is possible. Yes, anything is possible. All right. Karen, Barbee, baby boomer belly dancer, Cameron and Shevon, they're on their way out, but they're still going to be here. See you later.